Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel. Welcome to another video. And while I'm recording this video, last week's video is now rendering. I ended it just a few minutes ago, did the editing, but I figured I'm gonna record another video this week. It's now Monday, Monday the 4th, so last week for you guys. I have a task this week that I don't like, but it has to be done. So I figured I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a challenge this week. I have a couple of classic Orangepixel games that I'm uploading to Steam. I'm very far in that process. Most of it is done. Screenshots, uploading screenshots, icons, capsule art, making that capsule art, very different resolutions, dimensions. Just have everything up there. But I came to the conclusion that two of these classic games have a trailer online that shows touchscreen controls. That's not gonna work on Steam. That's not gonna work anywhere where I want to sell the PC version. And we're also looking into the Nintendo Switch version of these games. So I need to create new trailers. And I don't like that job. If I'm working on a new game, launching a new game, then it's a fun job. It's fun, I have the experience, then I know the game, I can dive into it, record cool stuff. Now I have to dive back into these ancient classic Orangepixel titles and come up with a trailer. And it's not a launch trailer, it's just a good trailer to showcase the game on a page like Steam. To make that more fun for me, I'm challenging myself to do it in 3 days. 2 trailers, 3 days, and create this video. So that's actually 3 videos in 3 days. Let's see if I can actually manage to do that before Thursday. Here we go. Okay, so the games I have to update are Meganoid Chronicles and Neoteria. All the other games have great trailers. They have trailers as well. Cool ones, created by somebody else. But like I said, let me first soften the music. It shows mobile touchscreen controls. Let me make this full screen. This is all cool intro, Neoteria, blah, blah, blah. And this is where things start to bother me. We have up and down buttons, and over here we have a shooting button. Everything else in this trailer is pretty cool, and I'm fairly certain I cannot recreate all of that. So I might actually have a worse trailer at the end, but we're gonna try anyway. And the other game is Meganoid Chronicles. Again, the trailer is pretty cool, but it shows these buttons on screen that simply can't be used. A mistake I made back in those days, also thinking I would never release on anything else besides mobile. But anyway, this also has to change. I have a better logo, I have a better naming. Everything else, it's just, you see the pause button big on screen. It's, yeah, we're gonna have to recreate these trailers some way. I'm probably less fancy, but I'm gonna do my best. The first thing I have to do is record some gameplay. Easy, we'll boot up the PC version. I'll cheat myself into later levels to cover as much as possible. Maybe cheat myself into some power-ups and things like that. Although that means diving into ancient code. But I just need a lot of footage, and then we're just gonna cut, paste and edit it. It's now almost 2 p.m. That means my Monday will mostly be just recording footage. And sorry if you hear my PC fan blowing. I'm still rendering last week's video in the meantime, so I actually have to wait for that to finish before I can record gameplay. And then hopefully maybe I can start on like the first couple of bits of each trailer. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna record all the gameplay for both games and then trailer editing one by one. That sounds like the most logical option. So I'm gonna do some gaming. So before diving into the game, I changed a couple of things. I'm cheating myself into the game, which means I can get any level I want to play. I can barely die, and I can press the F3 key to give myself a couple of power-ups. I also removed rendering the on-screen display, the HUD, the interface, status bar, score, points, things like that. You really don't want to record those if you're recording a trailer, because you are going to cut up the video and you'll have so many shots where the status bar or the energy bar will be depleted, will be full again, it'll jump all over the place. So if you want those things in your trailer, add them later, but usually you don't need them on screen. Also turned off the music. Time to record. Gameplay, just gonna play a couple of rounds, get as much footage as I can, different worlds, different areas. And I'm using OBS to record it, so here we go. Okay, finished recording a lot of gameplay, mostly from Neoteria because it has all these various levels and things. A little less for Meganoid, but I think that video is mostly going to show you a bunch of deaths. It's really a platformer where one of those frustrating platformers where you constantly die. So I'm probably going to do that in the video. I have some time left on my Monday. It's 3 p.m. now. Actually took a little... the recording took less time, but getting there took longer. For some weird reason I couldn't get the code to open for Neoteria. There was something locking it and a little panic, but I managed to get all that stuff up and running and actually record all the video. Now these are classic Orangepixel games, 2011, 2012 originally. So they are smaller packages, smaller games. They have less extra features, which is a blessing for this trailer because that makes it a lot easier. The gameplay is pretty straightforward. I just have to have enough edits and cuts and different scenes and things. Shouldn't be a huge amount of work to get these trailers made, but I should just begin and dive in now. I'm doing it all in DaVinci, my editing program of choice, also for these weekly videos. I'm very comfortable with it. It does crash every now and then, but I think most video programs do because they just do a lot of stuff on your PC. I'm gonna start with Neoteria, mostly because I have more interesting things there, I think, gameplay wise. So I'm gonna dive into that one and then see how far I can get on this first day. Okay, so we're like 45 minutes later and I already have the timeline for 1 minute of trailer video over here. This is all little clips, snippets, added the music. I haven't added special effects and things like that, except this little intro. It has my logo. Let me put it full screen. Orangepixel logo down there, presents. This is a quick and short way to get your game company name in there. Nobody has the patience to sit through a whole splash intro, you just animating your company name. So put it in there quickly, and I've been doing this for the last couple of trailers, so this is going to be a cool thing that I'll try to do in all the trailers from now on. Opening is very simple. Let me play it for you. And then we have the logo, the intro, and then we start showing a bunch of little video clips here. Let me move it. This is really just a lot of clips, timeline clips that plays action in this one, over here, different areas, another boss fight, another boss fight. I have to rearrange them a little bit, and I have to make sure that between these clips the eye can stay on the ship, and in the next clip you don't have to search for the ship who's suddenly over there. So I'm gonna line those up a little better, either with new clips or with some zooming into the image and zooming out, and we can do that with little special effects. Also the transition from one clip to the other, I want to add a little oomph to it. It's really like game development, add a little juice to these things. So I'm gonna try and let a little juice, maybe a screen shake or maybe a nice fade effect. Nothing too fancy or 80s home video like, but something that works. Other than that, I think this trailer is actually almost done. And that's crazy. I didn't expect this to go that fast, but like I said, classic games. There is nothing about the interface in here, even though there is world selection, level selection. So I want to grab a little bit of that, put it in there as well, because now we just have all these flying and shooting and bullets. That's the game, that's not bad, but a little break up of that action is nicer to watch. So I'm gonna shoot a couple of clips for that. And then I think that's the first trailer done. That's a good thing. Well, not done, but done for now. It's a rough cut. It works. I can let it sit now, and I'm wrapping up today. And I'm gonna change those clips and then wrap up the day. So tomorrow will be Meganoid, starting another trailer. I think that requires a little bit more work than this one. But we'll see how far we can get. Let's skip to Tuesday. So after that last bit I just recorded, I couldn't help myself and did a little bit more work on the trailer yesterday before calling it the end of the day. I've now been tweaking it a little bit, so we're like 30 minutes later. I think the Neoteria trailer is done. Let me show you the timeline for the trailer. So the timeline now contains a lot more than just video clips. We have still all these clips over here, but now I added little special effects, adjustments, things that do fade-ins and outs and make everything fit together more nicely. I've also been replacing a few clips that just needed different art or different level or different action vibe, and yeah, this is now the timeline. I added one or two little text. I don't want too much text in a trailer, but I figured I had to explain a few things. So unlockable game modes over here, and here we have secret paths, which then shows you that these paths exist. Pretty happy with how this trailer is. I might change it a little bit more later this week, but for now, it's time for the Meganoid trailer. I got into the zone, I think. It's just 11 AM in the morning, a little past, and I think I finished the Meganoid trailer. I'm not sure what happened. Like I said, I think I was in the zone. I've just been editing it and it all fell into place. I got one of the songs from the game for the background music, and I actually edited a couple of things on the beat here and there, especially the ending. There's like a little rise in the sound, so it really pushes you to something exciting. And for that part, I actually had a long clip that fit that whole duration, where I completed a difficult level. So you'll have to check the end trailer. But it's pretty cool that I think I'm done, at least the first draft. I might edit it a little bit later this week. I'll render it now, have it sit on my hard drive. I'll check it again maybe later today or tomorrow and see if it needs tweaking. I'll also put it on Discord, because people on Discord always have a brutal opinion of my stuff. So let's see what they can come up with and what needs changing. Let me show you the timeline. So we now have the whole timeline here. I have been using longer clips for this game than I did with Neoteria, because I didn't want to show all the death. You're gonna die a lot in this game, so it's very simple to make a trailer that shows you dying constantly. But I also wanted to show longer scenes where you have to pull switches and all the variations you'll encounter in the levels. One other tip is, this is the opening shot of my trailer. It's very nice to have like a fade in moment here, but that means your first shot will be this. And a lot of social media, if you share the trailer there, will use that first frame as the thumbnail. So I had this happen before, where you would have a nice fade in, but that means when you share the trailer with people on social media, they will mostly just see that black screen, not very inviting to click on it. So try to have something there that's I'm not sure I'm gonna keep this frame. It's not very attractive, so I might just look for another little clip. So I might replace this one, but the tip here is to make sure you don't use a fade in and you always have the first frame showing something of your game. That way it's a lot better to share it on social media. So the main challenge for the second trailer was trying not to copy the first trailer I did yesterday. Not having the same effects and the same setup and build up as Neoteria. I do need two separate trailers. So yeah, trailer's done and it's only Tuesday afternoon. So that's my whole challenge for this whole week, was to create these trailers, and it's now Tuesday morning still and I'm already done. I did not expect that. I know I have enough material for this video because I also edited this video already yesterday. So I know we're at 10 minutes for Neoteria. This hopefully adds a couple of more minutes to the video. And I'm gonna work on Space Grunts now, I guess. For now, I'm done with the trailers. So I think that also ends this video. Strangely, I wasn't expecting to end this video on my Tuesday morning, but here we are. This work went a lot faster. Of course, the games are simpler, as mentioned before, so the gameplay elements that are there are very easy to record. There's not a huge amount of interface and extra options, settings and things I want to show to the player or to the audience. It's really just gameplay. Simple, but a lot of fun. And these videos should be live by the time this video goes live. The Steam pages would not be live, so you'd have to check them on the Orangepixel website. Yeah, that means I have uploaded them to YouTube. So I might have made them live on YouTube already last couple of days. Not sure how I'm going to do this, but they should be visible, viewable somewhere in their final form. So check them out, and the games are coming to Steam. So that's the end of the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. If you have any questions on trailer creations or these games or whatever, drop them down there. And of course, for those that have nothing to add but want to help me get these videos noticed by the YouTube algorithm, the keyword for today, trailer. It's that simple. And I'll see you next week's video. Bye.